Good morning everybody, welcome to your Friday morning functional fit. It's lovely to have you with me. If you are new here this week, thank you so much for joining. Don't worry, I will talk you through everything that we're doing, and if you've been here before, if you've been here for the past 3 weeks, welcome back. Hopefully we'll be able to go a little bit further with some of your practice today. So functional fit, for anyone who doesn't know, who's missed the beginning of videos or who's new here this week, is a full body training. What we do is we take it right back to basics. We learn how to do all those moves that you're doing in the gym and doing in other classes, but we slow it right down and we learn how to do them properly. So we're executing really good form, we're doing it nice and slow and controlled, and we're working through compound movements. So compound movements are like full body movements that use more than one muscle group. So we're training different elements at once, but putting it all together. Sounds like it's going to be complicated. It is really, really simple. As I say, we strip it right back to basic, we learn how to do it together, and we go nice and slow and controlled. So there's no timers, no buzzers, just a nice, easy, fun Friday morning workout that's hopefully going to help you in your other classes and in your daily life as well, when you're going shopping, climbing stairs, all that kind of stuff. We're going to make you fitter for life. So we're going to start with a nice easy warm up, and don't worry, I'll talk you through all the moves as we go. As we do each round, I'll kind of tell you what we're doing. So we have our activation, so we activate the muscles, switch them on, find out exactly where we're working, and then we progress the movement and do like a training move. So every body part has an activation and then a little bit more advanced training. So I'll talk you through everything as we do it. I'll just do it kind of as and when, so that you're not trying to remember everything at once. So we'll start with our warm up. So we're going to bring it down. We're going to do a lot of mat work today, so make sure you've got your mat somewhere comfortable, or if you're on like your carpet or somewhere softer, you'll be absolutely fine. So we're going to bring it down, nice full body warm up, getting everything ready to go. We are going to come onto all fours. Let me just clean all the fluff off of my mat first. So we're going to come down onto all fours. So we have our hands under our shoulders, our knees under our hips, and all we're going to do is bring our left hand in towards the middle, so it's kind of under your chin. We're going to bring our right hand up. We're just going to thread through, take a little back stretch, and then reach it up. So we're going to go for 3 on each side, so get yourself ready, and then we're going to thread and release. Here we go. So nice and slow, hold at the bottom, and then reach it up. So stretching out through the chest, and then threading through. Try and get that bottom shoulder in towards the mat. Opening up. Last time. And opening. We're going to switch our hands. So our right hand comes in towards the middle. Make sure the weight is coming down over that hand. Press down through the palm. And we're going to go for 3 on this side. So threading through, taking that shoulder down towards the mat, and then reaching it up. Second time, nice and slow, back stays nice and straight. And we're just opening through our T-spine, through our thoracic spine at the top, getting some mobility going into the back. Excellent, so that's 3 on each side. We are going to bring it up into our high plank, and we're going to just drop each knee down towards the mat, releasing the toes, stretching up through the back, and then switching it over into our pigeon lunges. So we're going to go for 3 on each side, so when you're ready, let's go for one side. So dropping everything nice and flat, stretching up through the chest, through the back, and then switching it over, dropping it down, and just come to wherever you're comfortable. You might not get such a wide range of motion, just wherever you can manage. And last time on this side. Good. So we're opening up through the hips, stretching out through the glutes. We're going to return, and then we're going to come into a forward facing position. We're going to have our left knee under our body in a kneeling position. We're going to put our right foot out, nice and straight, toes facing forward. Let me shift over a little bit. And then we're going to drop our heel back towards our bum. We're going to have our hands coming slightly forward, just wherever you're comfortable reaching, and we're just going to rock back and forward. So we're coming up over the hands, and then pushing that bum back down towards the heel. Lovely. We're going to feel that stretch on the inside of that straight leg into our adductors. Whew. Good. We're going to go for one more after this, and then we're going to switch sides. So just rocking nice and slowly back and forward. We're going to switch over, so our right knee is bent, our left knee comes out, toes facing forward, slide with the foot on the mat, bring those hands slightly forward, and then just rock it back and forwards. So you might want to adjust the hands as you go. You might want to bring them a little bit further forward and get a deeper stretch into those shoulders. You might want to come back and just rock back gently. So we're just really opening up through all of those joints, getting nice length into the muscles, stretching them out, making them nice and warm for our practice. Good. So we're going to go for one more. Excellent. So that feels really good. That's a really good full body lengthening stretch. We're going to take it onto our fronts. So lying down on our tummies, we've got our hands just under our chins. We're going to keep the top of our toes on the ground, so I know you can't see them right now, but make sure that the top of your toes are on the top of your foot is on the mat. All we're going to do is just lift up, stretch through our lower back, hold it for a second, and return. So let's go for 3 back stretches all together. 1, hold it, and release. 2, so we're bringing the chest up off the mat, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Last one. Good, excellent. So we're nearly finished, just pull your back and have a little stretch. And we're nearly finished with our warm up. All we're going to do is come into some shoulder rotations. So we're kneeling up nice and high for me. And just work those shoulders through that full range of motion, coming forward. And then go back the way. So try and keep your shoulders pinned down, don't shrug them up, try and keep them dropped. And just roll that socket all the way through. This is a nice stretch as well, because you're stretching into your core, so every time you reach up, you're giving your abs a little stretch, shoulders are stretched, release everything, good. So just shake it off, release, ready for our warm-up, finished, ready for our practice. We are going to bring it up, we're going to start with our activation. So we're going to activate into our glutes first of all. So we're going to reset our posture, we're going to come into our hip bridge. So same workout, same warm-up we've been doing for our activation the past couple of weeks. We're going to lie it down, so shoulder blades on the mat, knees bent, feet on the ground, just quite close to your bum, so a few inches away. But again, wherever you feel comfortable, everyone has a slightly different range of motion. All we're going to do is we're going to tuck the pelvis under, we're going to scoop it up, and we're going to squeeze the glutes up nice and high. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold it here for 30 seconds. So set your posture, get ready to go. Shoulder blades stay pinned on the mat the whole time. Tucking the pelvis under, scooping up, and we're just going to hold. So I want you to keep pushing those glutes up towards the ceiling. Keep that pelvis tucked under, and push down through your heels. So hands could come off the mat, or hands could be down by your side, but don't push weight into your hands. Just use that lower body. So we are switching on those glute muscles. You're going to be feeling it. So when we activate, we engage the muscles, and then we start to really feel where we're working. So when it comes to our training moves, when it comes to the next progression, we know exactly where we should be feeling all of the work that we're doing. So we're waking them up, getting them ready to work, keep pushing, so don't let yourself drop, keep that nice high, you can keep progressing, shift the feet if you need to, keep pulling up towards the ceiling. In 3, 2, 1. Good, we're going to roll down, so release, arch lower back, release the legs. We're just going to go up one more time, and we're going to work on the outside of our glutes and the inside of our thighs. So this time we come up, same thing, tucking the pelvis, pulling the glutes up, and we're just going to butterfly the knees, so feet stay on the ground, and we're just going to drop our knees out to the side and pull them back in again, using those strong muscles down the side of your legs. We're going to go for 30 quick repetitions. So get ready, rolling up, squeeze everything nice and high. Let's go for 30. If you don't manage all 30, no problem. No one else knows, it's your workout. If you need to roll down and reset or take a little rest, that's absolutely fine. Halfway there, 15 more to go. So continuous movement, you're really going to feel this in the glutes. Excellent activation exercise. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it down. Excellent. Bring up. And we're getting ready to go into our tempo squats. So for tempo squats, we're going to bring it up into your set squat position. So everyone has slightly different. Some people like being nice and narrow. I prefer taking it a little bit wider. I get more depth going wider.
So play about with it, just use your feet wherever you want to place them. If you've done squats before, you'll probably know what's comfortable for you. All we're going to do is drop down, holding for a few seconds, and then we come up and we come up onto our toes. So when we come down, we're stretching out through the glutes, and when we come up, we're going to put the emphasis into the calves. So right down into the back of the legs. So compound movement, we need to work on our balance, we need to work on our stability. We're going to go nice and slow. If you don't, we'll go 10 reps. If you don't manage all 10 reps, that's fine. If you manage a couple, but you do them really well and you really feel it where you should be feeling it, perfect. So we're going to go for 10, nice, slow and controlled. Stay with me if you can. If you've been here for a few weeks, try and do all 10. Just releasing through the lower body, ready to squat. Here we go. Holding it for a few seconds, coming up onto our toes. Let's go again. So holding at the bottom for a few seconds just keeps those glute muscles under tension, and the longer they spend under tension, the more chance they have to grow and to develop. Excellent. Again, your range might not be all the way down, you might just come here if that's your full range. Perfect. We have got 4 more to go. Stay nice and slow, don't rush it. Holding for 3, 2, 1. And if you come up and don't want to go up onto your toes, don't come up onto your toes, if that's going to throw you off balance. 2 more. Hold. And slowly come up, squeeze the glutes, release through the toes. Last one. Let's go together. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Up, squeeze, release. Good, so we've done nice slow tempo squats, we've held at the bottom, we've released up through the toes, really effective glute and calf workout. We're just going to finish off with our glute section. We're going to come into a nice wide leg sumo stance. So we have wide legs, again, it depends where your kind of flexibility is, just do what's comfortable. Toes turned out, we drop our knees down over our toes, and we're just going to lift one heel at a time. So leg width activation, we're going to do 30 reps. Nice and quick. If you don't manage all 30, don't worry about it. Do what you can. So bracing the core, rolling the shoulders back. We're coming down. Woo, get your balance. There we go. So we're squeezing down through the glutes. 30 reps. So keep that chest up. That's 10. Again, you could be a little bit less wide and get that bum a little bit lower if you want. So just adjust it if you need to stop and adjust. Lifting up through those toes. So again, we're putting emphasis from the glutes into the calves. 10 more. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Heel toe back in, standing up straight. You're going to feel a little bit achy in the lower body. That's okay. It means it's working. Grab a drink if you need to. Stay hydrated. We're going to finish off on our lower body. We're going to work on our quads and on our hamstrings, so down into the legs rather than the glutes. We're going to do our activation. So coming down onto the ground. We're going to do slightly different activation this time. I want you to come to the front of your mat. You might find if you're on carpet you want to get something underneath your foot, so a pair of socks or maybe a tea towel or something to help you sliding. Just so you don't get carpet burns on your feet. You should be okay. You can always lift them up slightly. If you're on wooden tiles, you'll probably be fine. So we're going to sit up nice and tall, so nice straight back. Hands under our bodies for support, but we're not slouching down. Staying nice and tall. We have our feet out. We're going to come back so you can see. We have our feet out in front of us. All we're going to do is, starting on the right hand side, we're going to come in and out. So slowly pulling up, pulling that knee towards the body and just sliding it. We're going to go for 8 of those, followed by 8 out to the side. So sliding out until you feel that little pinch up the side, out and in. So the whole time we're keeping the leg nice and straight, we're pulling the knee up towards the body, keeping the toes pointed up to put the emphasis into our quad muscle in our thigh. We're going to go for 8 and 8, and then we're going to switch sides. So back nice and straight, sitting up nice and tall. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, keep it going, 6, 7, 8, drop it out, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, 8. We're going to go to the other side. So remember to keep the toes pointed up, so pull the toes up towards your face. Try and imagine pulling that kneecap up towards the body so the tension is all in the quad muscle. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, chest stays high, 4, keep breathing, 3, 2, 1, and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, so if you've done that, if you really squeeze into those quad muscles, you've really woken up the front of those legs. Let's finish off with our little lunge drills. So we are going to do a backward step and lunge. We're going to start on the right hand side, we're going to do 10 on the right and then 10 on the left. So it looks something like this. We drop it down, we just pop that knee off the ground quickly if you can, and then we bring it up and we go again. So when we come down, we're emphasizing into the front quad. When we come up, we're using that core to draw the knee up. Again, if you find you're off balance and you can't quite manage, don't bring the knee up. Just come up to standing and tap and go back down again. If you can't quite go down to the ground, just go down as far as you can until you feel a little stretch into the front quad and then come up. Slow and controlled as ever. Shoulders scoot back, chest stays nice and high. We're going to look ahead. We're going to go for 10 with the left foot planted and the right foot moving. If you don't manage all 10, do what you can. Let's go. So really challenge your balance by bringing that front knee up. It might help if you look at a certain point, if you've got something you can focus on, and just keep looking at whatever is in front of you. That might help improve your balance. So we're going to go for 2 more. Last one. Up. Good. Reset. So we're going to go on the other side. So we're going to plant the right foot and we're going to drop down the left. You might find that one side is more able to balance than the other, so I often find that the side is a little bit more wobbly for me. But just see what you can do. Move through as many as you can. We're going to go for 10 again. Here we go. So if you can get that back knee down and just kiss the ground. Pushing down through that front heel. Halfway there. Whew. Use that core. 3 more to go. Last one. Up and release. So front of the legs, had a good workout here. We're just going to finish off onto the back. Generally, whatever you do on the front, you do on the back to balance it out. So we're going to go into our deadlift, single leg deadlift. We have 2 options here. Option 1, we're going to plant our left foot working with the right. We're going to come into a B stance. So right foot comes back, toes on the ground. You're not putting weight into the back of the heel. It's just for balance. And we're just going to hinge from the hips. So when we do our hip hinge, we imagine a line across our body. Back stays straight, we hinge. Bum comes out as if you're closing a door behind you. And our front leg stays straight to the soft knee, and we just reach down until we feel our hamstrings start to stretch. And then we come up, squeezing up straight. And we go again. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, if you want to keep working on your balance and your stability, we're going to release the back foot. And as we hinge and come down, we're just going to lift it off the ground and then release. So that's our 2 options. Again, we're using the back of our legs, our big hamstring muscles, and we're using our core for that extra balance if you like. We're going to go for 10 on each side, same as the last time. So planting that left foot, we either come into B stance or we're going to release. You can always try a couple with the foot off if you don't like it or you don't manage. Just pop it down. It's all about working through different difficulty levels for you. So give it a go, challenge yourself, and if you're not sure, just come back to level 1. So let's go for our 10, hinging, back stays straight, reaching down, let's go. So again, we're going to go nice and slow, we're not going to rush. And when you feel that hamstring starting to engage in the back and starting to stretch, hold it for a second, and then releasing, coming up. You might not reach down as far, you might just reach down to the knee, that might be where you feel it. Or you might be able to come all the way down. 2 more on this side. Last one. Good. We're going to go to the other side. So again, this side might be more wobbly. You might find the other side is more wobbly. Just do what you can. You have the option of your B stands, keeping that foot back. Let's go for 10 just to finish off our legs. Here we go. So really push down through that heel. Try and get your whole foot onto the ground for extra balance. And we're trying to keep that front leg as straight as we can without locking out the knee. Halfway there, 5 more to go. If you need to rest, if you need to reset your stance, if you need to shake it off, you can do that and come straight back into it. Just do as many as you can. Last one. Good, bringing it up. Just releasing through those legs. Legs have worked hard. We're going to grab a drink and then we're going to bring it down and we're going to work into our back and our chest. So take a little break, get your breath back. Good, so our back muscles, our chest muscles are quite big muscles. We have our back muscles between the shoulder blades we're going to work, and we have our pecs. So down through the front of the chest, in onto the arms. We're going to start as we always do with our push pulls. So we're going to push pull. There's so much fluff on this mat, I don't know how it happens. I'm always having to brush it off. There we go, that's better. Okay, so we're going to start with our hands under our shoulders. We're going to put the weight into our upper body. So we're going to drop the knees back and we're going to have the weight into the front of our body with our back straight. So as if we're going into like a push-up position. From here, all we're going to do is a small tiny movement. We're going to drop the chest and squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then we're going to push away, release the shoulder blades, squeeze them apart and pulling the chest up towards the ceiling. So a drop and a push, drop and a push. So we're pushing down through the palms of our hands and we're just pulling the chest through and then pushing the chest away. So it's a really small movement. You might not see it very clearly, but once you get started, you'll be able to kind of feel what I'm talking about. So when we squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then when we pull the chest up, we push the shoulder blades apart. So it's just working into our back, into our chest. Our shoulders help to stay engaged, help to stay balanced. So we're just going to go for 10. So dropping the knees, putting the weight forward. We're going to just tuck the pelvis, have a nice straight back, and we're going to go for 10. So a push and a pull is 1. I'll count you through. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. So the arms stay straight. It's not the arms that are working, it's the back and the chest. 5, halfway there. 6, if your hands start to hurt, your wrists start to hurt, bring the knees up and put less pressure through the wrists. 2 more. This is the last one. 10, good. Bring it back, drop it out, release the back. You should be feeling that through your shoulder blades, so you should really be feeling that activation through the back. We're going to finish off as we always do with our push-up lowers. So a lot of people say they want people to do a push-up and they really struggle getting the full push-up. So this is, we're going to strip it back. We're going to start with a lowering phase. We're going to show you how to do that really well. We're doing it on our knees, so no worries, don't worry about having to come up on your toes. And we're just going to learn how to go down nice and slow and controlled. And then we're going to push back up and start again. So I'll show you how it looks. So take a look. We're going to have our hands in that same stance, so hands under our shoulders. They're going to come slightly wider than the mat. So that when you come down, they come out at a 45-degree angle. When you come down and push up, they shouldn't come right up like this. They should come back behind the body, out and back 45 degrees. So we have our hands slightly wider than shoulders. We have our knees dropped again. So tuck the pelvis, weight comes forward. And all we're going to do is slowly lower down for 3, And then we're going to release the hands, bring them back, and then push up to the start again. So it's all about the lowering phase. It's not about pushing and pulling one after the other. We lower down and release, come back up to the start, and then lower down. So I want you to go down nice and slow for a count of 3. Nothing should hit the deck for anything else. You don't come down chest first, you don't come down pelvis first. Everything comes down in a nice smooth line if you can. If that's too much on your wrist again, if you find you're struggling, just bring the knees into that tabletop position and just practice that lowering phase up and down. That's absolutely fine. Give your wrists a break. If you need to shake them off at any point, shake them off. It can be quite a lot if you're not used to doing this kind of work. So we're just going to go for 10. So setting our stance, hands come slightly wider than mat. Splay out the fingers so you've got a nice even spread into the hands. Knees are just hip width apart. Tucking that pelvis back nice and straight in your own time. See if you can do 10. If not, don't worry, just do as many as you can as long as you're doing them well. Let's give it a go. So when you get the round, release the hands up towards the sky. I'll shuffle back so you can see. And then bring them back under. And then just push back up. And then lower again. So it's all about the pushing down, not the pulling up. So nice and slow. You're going to feel this into the pecs. Release. Bring it up. If you need to at any point, bring those heels back to the bum, stretch it out, and then go again. Good. You're halfway there. You're counting with me. So 1, 2, 3. Release. And then come up to starting position. So it's all about the lowering phase. 3 more to go. So we're trying to make sure that we hit the ground with our upper body nice and evenly. Last one. Let's really make it count. Release. And then bring those heels back towards the bum. Dropping it to child's pose. Stretch out through the back. And then let's come up and let's just open up through the chest. So where you'll be feeling it is right into the side of those pecs. So right under here and right under here where you've released. And then across the shoulder blades where you've used your back to stabilise on the way back up. Good work, guys. How did that feel? If you've been here for a few weeks, are they starting to get a little bit easier? Are you still struggling? Whew. God, I'm knackered now. Right, we're moving on. We're going to go into our shoulders. So we're going to do a shoulder activation. I'm going to move my mat so I can see what I'm doing, make sure I'm not banging into anything. So what we're going to do, we're going to come and lie down on our sides. Whew. We have our knees bent up towards the body, and we have our bottom hand, so in this case it's my left hand and my right hand out. We come into like a sort of crocodile pose, and all we're going to do is try and draw a big circle on the ground with our fingers. So we're going to try and have the fingers going along the ground behind us. Try not to break the connection. And then we come up and over. So we're working through our shoulder rotation. I'm going to come forward a little bit so keep hitting that door behind me. Don't have much room here. So when we're ready, we're just going to go for 3 on each side. So whatever side you started with, let's just go nice and slow. Trying to draw that circle on the ground and then coming up and over. 2 more to go. So try and keep your upper body and your knees pressed into the ground and just draw that big semicircle around you. If you don't put your fingers on the ground the whole way, that's okay. It's something that'll come the more you do it. There we go, perfect, that's 3. We're just going to switch sides, so I'm going to come onto my other side. And we're going to do the same thing again. So lying on our side, knees are bent, bottom hand comes out, top hand comes to meet it. And we're just going to draw 3 big circles on the ground, trying to keep our fingertips down and putting emphasis into our shoulder. So let's go for 3. So you really have to try different things to get those fingers down. So you might need to turn the hand over. You might need to work through different positions in the arm. Last one. And you're really feeling this deep into that shoulder carriage. bringing up. Good. We're going to finish off with our YTLs. I know that everyone loves because they hurt, but they're really good. So we're going to come up to standing. So if you imagine we're making letters with our arms. So for the Y, our body is the trunk of the Y. And all we do is we do that hip hinge. Remember our hip hinge? Where our back stays straight. And we just hinge it, closing that door behind us. And we just bring our hands up and then bring them back down beside the body. So into a Y. We're going to do 10 Ys, followed by 10 Ts, where we just bring the hands up into a lat raise, squeezing through the shoulders, so our lateral muscles up here, into our delts. And then we go for Ls, where we come up, make some Ls, down, release. So we're going to go for 10 Ys, 10 Ts, and 10 Ls, back to back. If you can, follow along. You'll really start to feel it halfway through. But it's a really, really good shoulder exercise. You don't need dumbbells and heavy weights to train your shoulders. So, shoulders rolled down, breathing nice and deep, hinge, keeping those feet under your hips, legs nice and straight. Let's go for our 10 Ys. So really rolling through those shoulder blades, use that rotator cuff. Whew. Back of the lats, top of the delts. 3, 2, 1, straight into our T's. Whew. So we're hitting the traps here, so the traps are at the top of the shoulder and towards where the neck starts. Halfway. Good, you're going to feel this cross to the back as well. Really hitting all aspects of that shoulder. 2, 1, let's go for our Ls. Up, down, release, in, up, down, release. So we're taking a rotation here, working into the rotator cuff muscles. Core has to stay nice and braced to support this movement. Compound movements, multiple muscle groups, all working together. 3 more, you're feeling it now. 2, last one, squeeze, and release. Rolling it back up again, roll those shoulders out. Give me a couple of shrugs, rolling forward. So that's definitely what you're feeling, is those muscles working. You might feel a little bit stiff across your shoulders tomorrow, but that's okay, it'll go away quite quickly. Just means that they've had a good challenge and they've worked hard. Let's finish off on our upper body. For now, let's come down and we're going to work on our arms. So we're going to activate through the triceps. So this time we're going to come into an easy tricep push-up. So we've done full tricep push-ups before for our progression of the movement. They are really, really tough. Some people really struggle with them. So we're going to do an adapted version that's still going to hit right into those triceps. We are going to bring the knees under the hips into our tabletop position, but we're going to move the hands forward, just one hand width forward. So from here we're just going to move forward about half a foot, back nice and straight, and all we do is drop the elbows and then release back up and pull the weight forward. So we're dropping, so we're not moving the body back, everything stays still. Elbows come down, and then we release and bring that weight back over the hands. So notice how my lower body isn't shifting back when I come down. So we're putting the emphasis into the triceps. We're just going to go for 10 here. You might need a couple of reps to start to feel where you should be feeling it. But if you imagine you've got something behind you that you can't move back, you've got a wall behind you and you can't shift that back, you're stopping against the wall. So make sure the bum doesn't go back. Just dropping down, elbows down, set that stance. Here we go, let's go for 10. And then pushing back up, make sure that weight comes forward. And you should feel this immediately into the back of those arms. So it's a modified tricep push-up. We're getting the activation into the arms, but we're not putting our full weight into the move. So it's more gentle on your wrists, more gentle on your arms. But if you're doing them properly, they're still tough. Excellent, 3 more. So the full forearm comes down onto the mat, and then you use those hands to push back up again. Last one, down and up. Good. You're feeling it right up here, right up here. That means hitting the spot, that means it's working. Let's progress, let's finish off with our little side tricep push-ups. So again, less body weight going into the wrists. Feels slightly easier, but you're still hitting the right spot. We're going to come onto one side, we're going to have our knees slightly bent, we're going to have our hand just on the ground, just outside of the shoulder. Trying to scoop that waist up, trying to feel it nice and tight through the obliques. You can have the other hand resting for balance, or off the body if you want a little bit more. Hands facing forward. We're just going to come down until we feel that tricep and then push back up. So bent elbow and pushing up. We're going to go for 10 on this side, switching over, 10 on the other, and then we're going to finish off with abs. Let's go for 10. 9. 8. Keep it going. So just come down until you feel that tricep start to work. Halfway there. 4 more. 3. 2. Last one. 1. Let's hold it for a second and then release. Other side. Finishing off. So hand comes out just behind the shoulder, just beyond the shoulder. Knees are bent, just sitting on the side of your hip there. Bottom flat on the mat. Make sure that hand's facing forward. You can have this hand in support if you need a little bit extra balance. And we're going to go for 10 just to finish off. 10, 9, 8, 7. So really feel this into the back of the arm. Again, your shoulder's going to do a little bit of work here. Your core's going to help keep the upper body nice and straight. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Hold it for a second. Release. Good work. Just release those triceps. Just bring the hands down. You'll feel that little stretch out through the back. Just give it a little shake off if you need to. Good. Shake off the wrists. Just give your forearms a little stretch as well. Releasing everything through the hands. Good. We're going to finish off with our ab work. So we're going to activate in our plank saws. We're going to go for our dead bugs as ever, and then we have our little full body challenge at the end. And if you've been here the past couple of weeks, let's see if we can do all 5 of those challenges. That's your little extra bonus for this week. Good, so we're going to come into our plank saws. So we're activating through the core. We're going to bring our forearms down onto the mat, just a nice low plank position. We're going to, if we can, have our thighs pressing together, feet nice and narrow on the ground. So squeezing that piece of paper between our thighs, imaginary piece of paper. And we're just going to rock forward and back, keeping that bum down nice and low, keeping that pelvis tucked under. Really brace through the core, keep breathing. 10 plank saws. If you need to drop to your knees at any point, but try it on your toes first. It's over really quickly. 10 plank saws are nice and fast. So into position. If you need as well, you can bring the feet slightly wider if you don't like them being squeezed together, if that's throwing you off balance. Let's go for our 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, keep bracing, don't let the bum raise up into the air. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, so nice quick activation, but you've really got to work through that whole entire core to keep the body straight. You should be feeling it in the abs already. Switched on, nice and tight. Let's finish off with our dead bugs. We're coming over onto our back. So we come down, shoulder blades stay on the mat, head stays down, pressing that lower back into the mat. So by doing that, we're going to tuck the pelvis under. We're going to pull that navel in towards the spine. Make sure there's no gap there. We're going to bring the knees up to 90 degrees. Hands come up as well. And we just drop alternate hand and alternate foot. Nice and slow. And use that core to send your levers in different directions. We're going to go for 20 in total, 10 on each side, or as many as you can manage in the time. Let's go. So So keep actively squeezing that core nice and tight. Keep that lower back pressed into the mat. If this starts to hurt your lower back at any point, or you feel like your hips are clicking, just drop the toe without straightening the leg. That's your option. Level 1 option, just drop the toe, keep the knees bent. Full range of motion. Level 2 is straightening out through the leg. So 8 more to go, 4 on each side. Keep it going. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. Just hold behind the knees, rolling it up. Whew, are we feeling that in our core? I'm feeling it in my core. We're going to finish off with our little full body challenge. We've done it every week so far. So use it as a chance to see how far you've progressed if you've been here before. If you're new, just do what you can. I'll show you what we're doing. We're coming back into our good old tabletop position. Hands are under our shoulders, knees are under our hips. We're going to tuck the toes under, and we're just going to hover the knees, so it's a little bear hover. From here, we're going to lift one hand, the other hand, one foot, and the other foot, in a little circular motion. So we have to brace through the core, we have to squeeze through those shoulders, we're engaging the pecs in the back, like we did with our push-up lowers, and we're using all of our body to stay nice and still, so we're not kind of wobbling from side to side, hopefully, we're not kind of dipping in and out. We're staying nice and strong and stable, and just lifting one at a time. We're going to do 5 rotations, so 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way around 5 times, or as many as you can manage. If you need to drop your knees in between and do that and reset, I want you to challenge yourself. I want you to try. Don't think I can't do it. Think I can do it. And just try and stay up for as long as you can. So let's go for our 5 full body challenges in 3, 2, 1. So you really have to focus, and you really have to be engaging through that core to stay nice and level. Try and return the hands and feet to where you lifted them off from. So I've got 2 more rotations to go. Last one. If you're still working, keep working. I'll give you a couple of minutes to finish off, or a couple of seconds anyway. So if you're still working through all 5, keep going. Keep that core braced. Keep those knees hovering off the mat, lifting one at a time, nice and controlled. And then finish off where you are in 3, 2, 1, and rest. We're going to take a nice full body cool down and stretch out. I'm going to put some lightly more chilled music on. Lovely. So we're going to come and lie down on our backs. We're going to stretch out through our abs. So lying down nice and straight, feet together, hands come overhead, and we're just going to think about pulling the ribs up towards the ceiling, pushing the feet out towards the end of the room, and stretching out as long and thin and flat as we can. So actively pushing the hands and feet away, stretching out that entire core. We're going to take 3 nice deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good. From here, we're going to roll over onto our side. We're going to drop our bottom arm out. We're going to bring our top knee over. We're going to have the back hand coming out towards the back of the room, and we're just going to take our head towards that back hand. So a lying ab stretch. So our body's going one way, our upper body's going the other. And just keep trying to push that knee over, dropping out our hands. Holding in the stretch, and then other side. So we're going to drop our back leg straight, our other knee comes over, hands stay out and look towards that front hand. Just taking a nice full body rotation, little twist. And releasing, slowly roll it up. We're going to come and sit with a nice straight back, hands come back to support. We're going to just have our feet out in front of us and we're just going to drop them side to side. Releasing through those hips. So try and keep your feet still on the ground and just drop those knees, keeping the bum on the ground. Chest is nice and high. Good. Last time on each side. And then come into a nice 90-90 position. So one leg comes forward, one leg goes back. We're just going to take a little twist. We're just going to bring the upper body over that front knee. If you can, just dropping down. So you're going to feel the stretching out through the back glutes and into those hips. And then we're going to bring one hand back, the front hand onto that back knee and take a little twist in the opposite direction. Keep pressing those knees onto the ground and then switching over. So front knee and back knee switches position. We're going to twist the upper body, so twisting from the waist over and just come and lean over that front knee. If you want a little bit further, drop the upper body down, feeling that stretch through the glutes. And then we're going to walk one hand back and one hand comes forward onto that back knee. Try and keep those knees pressing into the mat and just twisting in the other direction. Excellent. Slowly come to untwist. We're going to bring it up onto our feet, so nice and slow. And we're going to stretch out through the chest, so bringing the thumbs up. Turning the thumbs under, pushing back, squeezing shoulder blades together. One arm comes over, we're going to stretch our shoulder, so you're going to hold it above or below the elbow and just help it over, a little tug over the body. And then send that tricep up and over. So tricep comes back, just give it a little push down, stretching out the back of that arm. And then into the other side, so again, above or below. And just encourage it to come over the body, just feeling it into that shoulder. And then sending it up and over into our triceps. Good. Walking the heels out, slightly wider. We're going to stretch through the back. So we're going to drop our elbows onto our knees and then we're going to round our back up, straightening our legs and just pushing those shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. Really stretch out that back. Good. Dropping those hands down. Just rolling slightly forward and back. Releasing out through the back of that body. And then slowly rolling up. Walking those heels back in towards the body. Reaching up. So nice long stretch like we did at the start of the cool down. Looking up towards those hands. And release. Well done everyone. Give yourself a clap. I always like to clap for everyone at the end of the workout. I want you to clap yourself. You've worked really, really hard. Well done for keeping up with that. If you kept up with all the moves. I hope you are feeling nice and energized. I hope you've learned a few things here. And I will see you all hopefully next week. I think we have a new timetable coming, so look out for that on the page. We'll be posted in the next couple of days. So we've got some new classes for you. So have a look out for that, and I'm back here next week. I will see you on Monday. I should be back Wednesday and Friday as well. So join in. Give me a little wave, give me a little like if you enjoyed the class. Any feedback, any comments, pop them below. I'll come back to you. I will answer anything you have, any queries, any questions. Go and enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy your weekend, knowing that you've done a really good full body workout. Ugh, can't get my words out today. Enjoy. See you later.